company you have about blog,
Oh, whoops, sorry.
about blog service, and the another column is vertical column product. Under product there is a pricing, features, customs, and then again on the support there is a support center like this. So there is a 4 vertical columns.
Yeah, so what he's talking about here is let's just, I'm gonna share a different screen. I'm gonna share my desktop too, just so everybody can get an example of what's going on here and what we can do to rectify this. So we're gonna pull up this, hopefully, wait, am I doing, let's just see, desktop 2. You guys can still see his screenshot here, searching out.
Yes.
Yep.
Perfect. We're also gonna pull it up in a web page, right? We'll get off that page and go search in at, what is it, .com, hopefully. Yeah, perfect. All right. So normal menu, all right. I'm just gonna shrink this down a bit. So we've got a screenshot for mobile, which is looking crazy. And what we're saying is this whole white section here is this mobile footer taking up most of the page automatically. Technically, if we only have a couple footer items or no footer items, this would only take up 1 or no lines. So in his real footer on desktop, actually on desktop, you don't even have it, bro. So I mean, why not remove that and put this all in the mobile menu? I thought you had a full robust footer down here, but you don't.
Yeah, but it is not showing. I think some error is there.
Some errors here, not showing your footer. Let's just check an inner page just in case. I mean, that looks like it's showing pretty much all of your footer. I mean, I may be wrong, but look, I see the other things. And give me a sec. And again, maybe I have to check in that error first. So I know your business pages won't have that footer. Here's another. So I'd have to see the footer first. But again, I guess if we have the login, we can kind of, troubleshoot why or how to remove this. I have seen this problem before though. So don't get me wrong. I've seen when people try to put too much in a menu or too much in a footer. I have seen this. As a matter of fact, I've seen this recently where they had a bunch of footer items and it took up the whole page on mobile. And my recommendation, which solved the whole thing, was put it in a mobile menu only, right? You don't need it in your normal menu, but when you're on mobile, actually, where is your normal menu? Right here at the top. But when you're on mobile, man, I would smash all that in there, right? Just smash all these different things that they could see in there, just to make it easy on you. But if we need to look further into it, man, at some point, send a login. We'll don't put it in the general chat. Trust me, there's gonna be a lot of people viewing this video, not just the 11 people in here. But yeah, if you want, you can send me over a login. We can take a look and we can analyze it even further. But my main suggestion to you is throw it in the mobile menu, not everything.
Okay, I have sent one screenshot. Sorry, I shared it on to everyone. That is, I have taken the screenshot from for your website ListingPro, and I opened it in the mobile. And on the footer, it is coming one column vertically as a company, another column as a product.
Can you show me? I'm having a hard time finding. Can you share that with the chat as well?
Yeah, I'll share you again.
Yeah.
I'll share you it again.
Again,
Sure.
maybe I can look at the old one.
Yeah, it's there.
All right, perfect. I'm gonna open that up in the new one. Sam, you're gonna have to. I don't know what you guys did with ListingPro. Is the ListingPro website designed with? I wouldn't even imagine it would be designed with ListingPro. It's not a ListingPro template.
Yeah,
but
that's just a landing page HTML, dude. It's just a landing page. How about Tim? Let's keep moving, and I guess we can maybe take more questions from Mirage a little later, because it's more technical. Like, we'll have to. Yeah.
So the next one was from iPhone 12. Actually, Gar said, or Event Pro, is there a QR code? Wait, Steve. Wait, before that, Steve's taking his kid to basketball. We'll see you later, Steve. Event Pro, is there a QR code for tickets? By the way, so Garth, Garth sent me a personalized message that said, hey, does Event Pro have a QR code for tickets? And is there a way to prevent tickets from getting scanned multiple times? if you'll answer Garth on that, because I'm just not sure on the productivity of where Event Pro is at.
Yes.
I'll keep jumping the group.
Yes. So when people buy any ticket using Event Pro, I mean on a marketplace, it does generate tickets with the QR code, and we also have a verification page that you can create, and then you can either enter the order number, or you can just use any phone camera to scan the QR code, and it will verify the ticket. So it's pretty simple. You don't need any mobile app or anything to do that. So
And
yes.
iPhone 12 update Redux. I've seen that before.
Yeah. Thanks.
Redux.
One other question is there a way to prevent tickets getting scanned multiple times? Like if somebody prints a ticket twice, can they scan it again twice? Or is it just verifying?
Yeah, so basically you can scan it as many times as you want. It's just when the person at the registration counter or check-in, they'll have to scan and just mark that person, I don't know, in their system or somewhere, that person on a paper. I don't know how they're going to check in, but there's no like permanent once you scan it. I mean, there's no way at this time, at least, to lock it, I guess. I mean, yeah, I know. Yeah, that would probably require more like a sophisticated mobile app and like very like, you know, advanced. I don't know at this time how, but that's probably not possible at this time. I'll look into it and see if once you scan it, I don't know, like it's a good idea, like, you know, once you scan it, then it shouldn't be scanned again, because the person might step out for some reason and they want to get back in. I don't know, there could be like 7 different scenarios, so we'll have to definitely review that. I don't know, you can send me any details, like just direct message me if you have seen somebody's doing that on a different WordPress theme or WordPress plugin or another event app. I can consider.
Yeah, no, I guess to keep it simple, in an event, I'm based in New York and I'm planning to use this for Caribbean events. And if we sell 100 tickets or so, we don't want the customers to buy a ticket and then, you know, make a copy of the paper and give it out to multiple peoples and just having the same ticket getting scanned multiple times. So is there a way around that? I guess. Don't want to hold up the meeting.
A lot of times conferences will verify this with a name and an email, right? So like I'm a web guy. I've been copying tickets and doing things like this all my life, right? And I know that's not right, but with that being said, the prevention of this is done on the not on the website side, but the user base side, right? So if you're selling events with a ticket system, I already have your name, I have your email, I have the fact that you bought a ticket. Now, just because you can print a ticket out and QR code a ticket, you're right. Can I not pass that to 50 of my friends and 50 of my friends not show up? I would think it would be up on the business side for them to double check your name and email, right? Hey, what got submitted to us? Because there is no way. I mean, especially when you're looking at online, unless it's like a repeated ticket where they have a number and it's valid, but then you need a complete different system. So I mean, just in my opinion, on the event side, like yeah, take the name and give them a ticket, you know, and when they come, hey, we need just, you know, it doesn't have to be photo ID. I mean, that's an easy one, but you know, something with your name on it and the ticket, you cross that off, right?
So one last question. I don't really want to hold you guys up. Is in the QR code, what information is in the QR code? Because I could then, if someone scans and their name and email come up, then I could verify the name via an ID, right? Or is the ticket has the name on it?
Yeah, so you can have what you call name when they scan the ticket. You can have name, I believe. There are a few other details. Let me just double check. I'll share the screenshot in the group if you can stay around. Let me just yeah. Let me get back to you on this. I'll send you. Have you seen the ticket format already? If you're not, I'll send you the ticket. You can actually scan it yourself, and you can see what happens. Actually, you don't need anything. So I'm gonna share that in a bit. Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
Awesome, really good questions so far, guys. You guys are stumping me. Normally it's not this hard, so I like it. Any other questions? Let's keep it moving. Anybody with specifics or generals or? Claire?
Well, I mean, I could ask
Oh, go
another
ahead.
question.
Yeah, go ahead, Garth. Garth, go ahead. I don't
Yeah,
know much about Event Pro. I've only betaed it, so I think that's all
right,
Sam.
right. And this is more in line for a event website I'm trying to start within the
Okay.
coming next quarter or so. And that was one of the concerns. The other concern is I know you could do commission on tickets, which is deducted from the price that the tickets is getting sold at. Is there a way to add fees and not commission? For example, the ticket price is $10. You could say, okay, we are charging a fee of 1% in addition, or 2% in addition to the ticket price, which will then be translated back to the customer who's buying the ticket.
Sam, that one, Event Pro is on you, buddy. I know that tax is my
Yeah,
first.
yeah, sure, sure. So you don't want to charge commission, you don't want to set a commission rate per ticket, or you just want flat fee. Is that
Yeah,
what you
like a flat
referring?
fee. Exactly.
Yeah, that's not currently that's not possible. We did, that's something I did make a note of. I
Okay.
don't know if it was you who asked last time or if it was somebody else, but we did get sort of this question before, so I'm looking into it. So hopefully in
Okay.
the future we might add. So let me ask you. So if you want people to be able to charge fee on top of commission, or either one or the other?
No, either one or the other. The commission is getting deducted from the price of the ticket, correct? Or is it charged in addition to
Right.
the ticket?
No, the price of the ticket. Correct. Yeah. So you don't
Right,
want that.
right.
You want, yeah.
Yeah, because then, yeah, we want to transfer that cost back to the consumer, right, or the customer, right?
Okay.
The premise of my business is in Northeast region, we have a vibrant community, Caribbean community that puts on events, and these promoters would want for example, $50 for their tickets. They're selling it at $50. Same thing like
Okay.
any other event site do. They'll add a fee to it as opposed to taking a commission from it, right? The commission
Yeah,
is
but
not really the big concern for us. We could always say add the fee 1-2% and do advertising on the back end for other to get clients. But I don't think the promoters really want to get fees deducted from their
yeah,
costs.
but keep in mind, so you can do that on the back end, right? Just like you said. So if I were to tell somebody, hey, look, we take $5 from every event sold, right? That's a flat fee. You're letting the people know when they're submitting their event that look, we take $5, right? You could say 10%. You could say whatever you want, but in this case, let's say, hey, we take $5 from the event ticket that you're selling. So why shouldn't they sell it for 55? And again, that's your personal preference on why you're not saying that. But again, that's a free out of the box way just to be like, hey, look, we do this. Now, another way that I've seen, and Sam won't speak on this one, I'm sure, because it's third party, but having people sign up at a specific rate. So if I use a membership plugin and say, hey, look, if you sign up as an event person, we want $50, to start up with. They pay you that $50. Now they can create as many events as they want and they get free commission. So there's two different free methods of like you don't need another plugin, you don't need any coding. Again, I like the first method better, just letting people know, look, we take $5. So if every event, but unfortunately that sounds a little funny for me. Because yes, your guys are $50 an event. $5 is nothing. They charge $55. That's great.
Right.
Everybody gets what they wanted. Unfortunately, like if you were trying to mix that up, and some events weren't worth $50, they were like $12. $5 now becomes like almost half the sale. So again,
Exactly.
percentage sounds better for me. I would even tell them. So if your guys are normally $50, what is that? You say, hey, we normally charge 10%, and bam, you just already know, and then the system automatically works. They have to adjust their prices, not now to $50, but to $55 if they need $50 for that ticket. And that's an easy way and that's just that's a text box. It's just, hey, we need this. Again,
Yeah.
just some solutions while you're waiting on the perfect solution, right?
Right. Yeah, you have valid points there that could be taken in consideration. Sometimes the customers, which are these party promoters, they tend to be divas like rap stars. So we're
Yeah.
trying to be as easy and especially since we're competing with the likes of, this is kind of a niche, and we're still competing with the likes of, unfortunately, Eventbrite. And I think they give the capability of adding additional fees along with other things, right? So, and then in essence, that's our competition. That's our big competition.
It's
There's a niche
anybody's
market.
events. Anybody who's running an event site is running against Eventbrite, right? But the thing
Exactly.
is, are you niche enough to be better than them? I run a directory. Am I better than Google? My directory is better than Google, way better than Google. Because there's things that you can get from my directory you just can't get from Google. You have a niche directory. I don't know what your directory is, but if you have a niche directory or a niche event site, you're already better than Eventbrite. Eventbrite will show you everything. You can't get into your niche like that. So just keep those
Is your
things in
site
mind, man.
live?
It's really help.
No. I am
4 to
in the
1.
process. I'm actually going to purchase the product. I'm looking to purchase a product, but I wanted to get these. I have Listing Pro. I already purchased Listing Pro. I just haven't gotten around to building the site yet. So there's two sites that's coming for me. One for listing Caribbean entrepreneurs, and the other one is Listing Pro for listing events. Sorry, Event Pro for listing event for Caribbean events that's in New York and along the East Coast region. So hence, yeah, I'm definitely looking into I've purchased Listing Pro, and I'm almost there at purchasing Event Pro. It's just to get, I wanted to get a better understanding of how I could,
Absolutely, man. I mean, this is actually Tim. I don't know if you know that it's a $50 billion market, event online event ticketing, and it's gonna go about 70-80 billion by next few years. So even if you get like 0.0001% of
right.
that market, it's pretty big deal. Yeah. So anyways,
I guess the last thing, how do you guys go about, if you add a new feature, how do we go about getting that new? If I do, if for example, if I purchase Event Pro in 6 months down the line, you do add another feature, but is just a straight upgrade, or how does it work?
I got this. Upgrades are free, my friend. So you purchase that one, and this isn't just Listing Pro or Add-on Pro or anything. Event Pro.
Hey
And
Tim, just wanna
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
sorry. So with listing, let
No,
me
go
just
ahead.
clarify. So with Listing Pro, obviously you're correct, but with Event Pro, we actually now, for I don't know if Tim you have seen, we have two licenses. One is annually and one is lifetime. So if you go for
Yeah.
lifetime,
Yep.
yes, and then there's annually, then you get free updates annually, and then tech support also. You need to renew after 1 year if you just get the annually. So with the add-ons,
Yeah.
for some of the add-ons, not all add-ons, most of the add-ons are lifetime purchases. Medical Pro and Event Pro, we have both licenses, lifetime and annual. Just want to
Okay. Yeah. I was more interested in the lifetime. It doesn't make sense for me to go down yearly. Okay. Uh, cool. Thanks, guys. I don't want to hold up the meeting anymore. Hello.
No, guys, you're good, man. I was just letting Sam do his thing. Anybody have any questions or anything they want to go on to? Otherwise, I'm jumping into Hook's List, which is a website that was shared with us. But I'd love to hear more questions before we jump into anybody's websites. Mirage has a small query about a child and parent theme. Yeah, I'd love to hear that. What's up with these screenshots? Which I definitely, this is not my normal thing. So yeah, the screenshot you sent, I'll share my screen so everybody can see.
Hmm. Actually, there is a two screenshot I have shared, and I have a little bit doubt. My active theme is showing as a child theme. So is it the correct one, or do I need to have this
No,
on this here the main?
you're 100% correct, man. So what's going to happen is the screenshot that I opened that everybody can see right now, it says, hey, this is your active theme. It's a Listing Pro child theme. It will always be 1.0.0. You will never change it.
Okay,
The
and
second,
active it will be. Okay, yes, please complete.
yes, sir. It will definitely be active. The second theme in your appearance theme sections will be the Listing Pro theme. Right now we're on 2.6.8, and that will always change, but it will never be active. And that's the way it's supposed to be. What happens is it if you're a developer, I'll give you the quick rundown of parent themes and child themes. So the way this is built, and I tell you the truth, if I don't do, let's say I build a site and I don't do any customizations to your template, I still upload a child theme. But let's go over it real quick. I'm just going to show you an example. We'll go to what do we have? Listing Pro demo. I know I have something up. Let's just go into it. Give me just a sec. So if you have an active theme, let's just say you have Listing Pro 2.6.5, right? And you have that already installed on your server. And for some reason, you contact support, or you contact me, or you personally make changes in your template file. Those changes, let's just say, okay, you make those changes, you change the name WhatsApp to TikTok. Perfect. Everything's working great. But when you go to update and you update the theme, if your code changes were in that template file, you just lost them. So what happens is a child theme comes with basic information. A child theme comes with like a functions file. Like it doesn't come with everything the theme comes with. It comes with just the basics of a child theme. But what happens is if you have that, I hope I have a child theme here now that I just did all that appearance thing. I probably don't. So I don't. But what happens is when you go to update Listing Pro, everything in Listing Pro can update as long as you have that child theme that's overriding the files that you made changes to. So for example, I had a guy that he has a really nice website, and we won't go into it, but he made a bunch of modifications to his template. But unfortunately, he didn't make those in a child theme, and I'll show you a video that's really awesome about how to edit and how to do things with a child theme. Most people, if you're in here and you don't know any coding, you're not gonna edit a template file. But again, if you contact Listing Pro for customization and you don't have a child theme, that maybe they might just throw it in what you have. So grab that child theme that comes with the Listing Pro download and install it. Oh, I know I have. Let me just check. Okay, putting for you. We're just going to go into themes real quick because even on a basic setup, I want to show you. So even if I use something like Hello Elementor, I'm grabbing Hello Elementor and I'm grabbing the child theme. And I'll show you that. So here, Hello Elementor is the theme, but the child theme is here. Now I might not have thrown. I'm going to show you a theme editor. Again, this is a little bit of coding that some of you guys might not understand. Speaking of I understand, we're going to click I understand. I don't have any custom. This is my Hello Elementor child theme. I don't have any custom coding in here. But I mean, it's good practice just to have the child theme in there. I've been a developer for a while. Now check this out. Inside my theme, and we all know Listing Pro. So let's just say in my archive page, I want to show my first name in every single listing that's there. Not that anybody would ever want to do that. But to do that, I would have to go to my theme. I would have to edit my theme, right? Whatever my theme may be. And I have to put that in a template piece. Instead of doing it in the actual theme, I would copy that file over to my child theme and put it here. And again, that reverts back to why I would do it, because now I can update the original theme. Remember, we can update Listing Pro and still have anything in the child just kind of overwrites what we have here. And it's a really smart thing. Even if you don't know coding, it's smart to just grab that child theme and throw it in there. I'll show you a video real quick, just so you can see a full video on why to use a child theme and parent theme. It's right here on my channel, Overnight Coder. Again, I don't care about the self-promotion or the one view. It's just great. It's great information. And I think I posted like 3 years ago, but I only have a few videos. It's posted in the comments. Let me know if you see it first. Where installing WordPress? What is the full video? Oh my God, no, that's not it. So I promise it's right here on the channel. I am gonna, oh, here it is. Perfect. I'll copy the video link. I'm gonna put that in the chat just so you have it, bro, so you can get the full explanation of what's going on. But I use a child theme. Again, the guy that has the Listing Pro site, and he actually had a web developer make a bunch of cool modifications for his site. Unfortunately, he is now stuck on Listing Pro 2.5 point something. And I was like, you know, he contacted me as a developer and he's like, hey man, I need to upgrade the theme. And I was like, yeah, you definitely do. You're like, you know, one whole version behind, 12 upgrades behind, and you need to update it. But unfortunately, because I don't know where they made all their modifications to the template files, it's really hard for somebody in the future to be like, hey, yes, we can do that. So right now he's stuck at not updating his theme. He's stuck with none of the benefits that Listing Pro is giving him in the future. So get used to definitely, again, it's mainly for developers, but get used to definitely using a child theme. Does that help a little bit? Yeah. The video will definitely help. The video I posted in chat will give you the full explanation of like why and when. Even if I don't make, again, I know I just explained this, but even if I don't have any modifications, I'm definitely using a child theme. Nice, somebody's jamming out. Who was that? Love it. iPhone 12, you got your hand up. Let's do it. I'm lowering your hand. You got a question?
Hello. Yes, I have. In the dashboard, there is the option to online delivery food. And how can I change some delivery services? So, or when there are restaurants, they have affiliate marketing with companies like Uber. And how can we do that to change them?
Is this an add-on? Is this, you say you've got a button back there that says we deliver?
Yeah, they have the link from example now from UberX for the food delivery. How is now it's possible to change the company, not Uber, something other company?
Yeah, buddy, this one's on you. I've never seen that before in my life.
What was that? I'm Tim. Was that for me? I was paying attention.
It's gotta be for you. He says in the back of his website he's got a button for Uber Eats or something for delivery of food.
In the dashboard, there is the option online delivery food.
What about it? Yeah, what about it? What about that?
How can I add some other companies who do that? There are only three: Tomato,
yeah.
Uber, and some other one. I don't know exactly. No.
Okay. So you can't add more, but you can change those if you don't want them. So you should be able to change it using local translate or whatever translation plugin you use, but we cannot currently add more. I mean, there's no simple way to just add more. I mean, you know, hopefully we'll give that option sometime down the road, but the easiest way right now would be to just edit those.
Okay.
So I've never seen this button, so I'm still not sure where this is at, even after building 70 Listing Pro sites. But if it's an add-on or maybe something I'm missing, the fact that Sam said Loco Translate, you could definitely change the text. You could definitely change the template links to anything in there. So I mean, just knowing that, I could literally change whatever I wanted to something specific. The problem is, right, Sam and Listing Pro don't know what you want to specifically use, whether you're in a third party country or whether you're in the United States. And I use Zoom and Google Meets all the time, Zoom mostly. But if you use something else, like I just seen, what is that, StreamYard or Vineyard, you could definitely loco translate and change things over to that. So I think it just depends on your niche market. What you said definitely makes sense.
iPhone 12 here. I have one question. I share it in the chat. When I install my theme, I get the info, the Redux framework's warning.
Yeah, I touched base on this probably about 10, 15 minutes ago. I would update that plugin. So go to your plugins and click update. I've seen this issue before. What's up?
They are updated. They are. I do it every like now.
All right, perfect.
And
Then I tell you what, because this is specific, if you want to send me some type of login or send Sam some type of login, we'll log in. First thing I would say is third-party plugin. I do notice that I'm looking at your message right now. It says CDN unavailable, Ace Editor JS. So if you're using some third party that's not working with Redux, again, it's going to be really hard to troubleshoot that third-party plugin not working with it. But until we see it, we won't be able to know. So again, I'd be willing. I'm sure Sam will be willing to look at it. No charge. But I think this is more specific to just your design. Right now, I can install Listing Pro. I don't have any Redux warnings. But if I decide to install 20 different plugins as well that don't come with it, I probably will have a warning. So let's just double check it together. And again, whether it's during the call or after the call, let's just take a look. And again, I mentioned that a little bit earlier.
it's one option to deactivate the Redux.
No, you can't deactivate Redux. Redux is huge with your Listing Pro theme.
Okay.
But hey, you can deactivate all those third-party plugins that you decided to add. You can definitely do that. I love you, man. I'm sorry that sounded a little bit different, right? But yeah, you can definitely.
I am new. I just asked. I don't know really. That's
Yeah. So
maybe there are
anything
some stupid questions, but
No. Listen, it's not. There's no stupid questions, no stupid answers. What I would do is anything that didn't come with Listing Pro. We're talking about Redux. Any plugin that doesn't say Listing Pro. What else? Right? I'm not looking at anything that doesn't say Listing Pro or Redux or either Elementor or WP Bakery. Go ahead and currently just deactivate for a minute and see if that warning still comes up. Come back later. Let us know. We'll still be here. I promise. First start with that, right? But again, it would be something I need to see. And the fact that your error says Ace Editor JS, I don't know what that is. It sounds like you have a third-party plugin called Ace Editor, and that could be the warning, right? What's going on, Jorge?
okay. Thanks for answer.
Any other questions? Child theme is activated already. I got that from Mirage. Mirage, then you should be good to go, man. Just make sure you make all your changes in the child theme. If not, I am going to pull up the site real quick while you guys formulate some questions. One of the first sites shared with us was Hooks List. Let me go back. Who submitted this? Make it easy for me. That was Steve, right? Steve, are you there with us? Is he still in chat at least, right? Did he have to go? Steve is the one that left, didn't he? Let me stop share. Just make sure you're still here. Steve, if you're gone, I'm not sharing this, man. He is gone. That's the guy that had to leave. All right, so we're gonna ignore Hooks List. I was gonna give him the rundown of his broken site, or I'm sorry, what he could fix on the site. He had mentioned something was broken, but anybody else want to share a website with us and maybe get some feedback, or if you have some questions, feel free to jump in. I don't see anybody. Yeah, he took his kids to basketball. Abdullah, is Saudi help? You mentioned that as well. Is Abdullah still in the chat? Yes. Abdullah, I'll pull up your website. I know you didn't ask for feedback, so until you say something about asking about feedback, I'm just pulling it up. I hate to give you recommendations and you don't want them. So again, this is Abdullah Saudi help that he mentioned in chat. I'm just gonna take a look while we're all just sitting here. Any questions, comments, concerns, you guys feel free to speak out. If you want your website critiqued, just let me know in the chat. Again, he didn't ask for it, and the last thing I do, you know, I don't want to start mentioning things. And like, dude, I didn't ask for help. But this is his website. So you guys already see a few
Yeah, you
things
can
here.
play any critiques that you have.
Abdullah, that was you?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, let's jump in. So for again, I hate to do that, but like I have some people that will be just like, mind your own business. I didn't ask for that. But the logo, I like how big it is, but the fact that you do the scroll down header on the homepage still makes it huge. So the way I get around this is two ways, right? I can make my logo smaller, or on the homepage, I just don't scroll my menu, right? That means that yes, it shows up here big, but watch when I scroll down, leaves like you. This is huge for me, like especially when I get to the white stages. This looks a little bad. Going down, and somebody else might have some better recommendations. Now, keep in mind, these are only recommendations. I am a web designer for almost 20 years, and I'm going off a visual perspective. So again, some of this might not be for you. The background image is default. You can make a background image collage by even searching on Google and finding a collage builder where you can just load in 15 profiles or 15 pictures, and it can build a collage for you. But don't use this general background image. It's pretty, like, I know this is a ListingPro website. I do love your colors, and I love this little chat feature or the social icons over here. So that's your positive. I like that. I like the spacing here on your homepage. I don't like this general featured image, which in general, what is it? Theme options, listings, general, change this featured image, whether it's your logo, whether it's, if they don't have a featured image, here are some of my suggestions. I normally put the company logo on like light gray or any color, and I say, hey, claim business listing now, or something similar. That way, when you're looking at it, you already know. But this default, only because this default colors doesn't match anything else on your website, it's not gonna look good. Your padding looks really good at the start. Notice you got the padding here, you got the same padding here. When you get down here, all of a sudden the padding gets a lot tighter. The font completely changed. I mean, I don't know what font this is. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna inspect it and waste the time. But this font and this font look completely different, whether it's size, darkness, whether it's, it could just be color. You know, so just make sure those are the same. The padding between here and your horizontal rule. The padding here just jumped from any other padding that you had, and you just expanded it. So just make sure everything's kind of symmetric. I do like the rest of this. This looks good. Pick really good photos here. Again, default images you already know. Padding at the bottom here, same thing, just from the reviews, the year is a little close. But this looks really good. You did a really good job with everything here, and that's like a majority of, if padding is your only big issue, you did really well. I will tell you that the dashboard is a little bit out of my sync, right? And this is my personal preference. Dashboard isn't gonna, I'm not logged in, so watch this. Dashboard, what does this do? It just refreshes the homepage. So if you're logged out, do you really need this dashboard? But I mean, I just clicked on it and it just refreshed the homepage. So for me, that's confusing. A lot of times, dashboard or anything like that would be at the end of your menu. So I would do home. I would probably do search, which search would bring you to whatever link this is. So I'd copy this. Give me just a sec. So the next issue is your site loads super slow. You know, I got great internet speed. This thing is still, we'll give it a second, but it's still just maybe loading, maybe not. So at this point, I leave your website. I'm not interested, right? You just lost business. So keep that in mind. And
Is
some of
this
this
a shared
starts,
hosting?
Yeah, it is shared hosting.
that thing is still loading, bro. You know, and all I did was click the search button here. So, I mean, I know I'm not in your location, and That's not going to play a huge part with my internet speed. I promise you. The huge thing here is your server. And that's horrible. It's still loading. All right, so we're gonna stop right there. I am gonna pull it up in GT Metrics and give you a little bit of help, as well as anybody, just to insight and see what's going on your website. But look, oh hey, it popped up. Give me a sec. So again, that big logo kills it here. Make that big logo. We already know what your logo looks like on the homepage. Whether you kept it that big size and ignored the scroll. Hold on, somebody's chat is I got background feed. I'm going to leave it alone. So I'd make the inner page logo way smaller. There was nothing wrong with your orange and stuff, so I might even keep that. But again, this is too huge for me. And the featured image is, you see why that's a problem now. I mean, all I see is a pink purple. No, that's, so if you can mute whoever, I'm not sure who that is. But perfect. Yeah, so those are the big things. I don't want to go into further because your big issue is going to be with your site speed. So I did pull up. Oh no, you've got something lying on you right here. So this says your site speed is fully loaded in 3.2 seconds, which I just sat there for longer than 20 seconds. That says site speed isn't right. Let me ask you a question. Are you using NitroPack?
No.
What are you using for site speed?
Honestly, just like the, what is it called? It's like a cache plugin and just the not WP Rocket, Lazy Load.
Maybe it was just me. I don't ever see that, but you are running great times on GT Metrics. A B87 is really close to an A. So I'll take back what I said. I think, it's not saying server here, but there was definitely a tied up issue there. I mean, we all seen it. I don't have, like, look, if I refresh anything else on the internet, this is fully loaded. Cloudways servers page fully loaded. I don't have any problems, but you definitely just seen a catch up there. Unfortunately, I see this with NitroPack a lot. NitroPack will tell somebody an A, but it's the slowest site you've ever seen in the world. So again, I'm not saying that's your situation, but you definitely had a hang up there, and I'm not sure what the deal is without future research. But that gives you a little bit of starting with, right? A little bit of like, hey, you can touch up this, you can touch up the menu. Let's take a look. This is Samsung out of business.
One question for you in regards to the logo. What's the ideal size for the JPEG should be for the logo?
It depends on how comfortable you are with ripping that thing open, right? So if I said height 95 pixels, is that really enough for your size here? Let's just say, let's stretch that down to 25 pixels, right? No, that's actually not doing the whole menu.
Yeah. Usually, I would say about 50 or 100, I guess, height.
I agree.
Pixel height and 250 or 200 maybe, like your width, or maybe more. It could be. I mean,
Okay,
you can
cool.
play with the width, but the height shouldn't exceed, like, I guess, 100 pixel.
Okay.
Honestly, a lot of time the smaller logos will look much nicer, whether it's just a icon logo or text plus icon logo. You don't really need a huge logos on your website these days, if you see most of
I want to show you a perfect. This is just visual example, guys, right? I'm not giving you. There's no count stuff here. This person here had a logo that was. So right now, I know this isn't perfect. I didn't like this. I just had the text order weddings, but unfortunately, look, this is their logo, and this logo down here will never really fit in a header and visually be like, look at the size of this from top to bottom, will never really fit in the header and look the way you want it to look, right? Unless the header is huge. Now don't get me wrong, because there are ways around that, and I want to show you another method. There are
Tim,
kind of ways
that
around it.
was ListingPro.
It's Elementor on the homepage, and it's definitely a directory. Wait, what? So that he has a ListingPro website. Now this one here, this is where we get away. Look at this logo, the Van X. This logo here would normally not look good in a banner, and here shrunk down to as small as it needed to be. So what we did is we say, hey, look, the logo has to be absolute position. And of course, it's going to take some custom development or some type of knowledge to put this logo over the menu. And yes, now it fits. But if you were to try to imagine this is their logo smashed into just this header bar, or making this header bar super huge, which has been here to here, it's not really possible. It's not, you know, same thing here. If I were to try to put this logo into here, this header becomes way too big, just like yours. So sometimes, here's the cool thing. Let me go back. Sometimes, and you've got an easy logo. Your logo can get smaller and you'll still be able to read it. You necessarily, I told you, don't have to do that on your home page. You can just stop the scrolling and that'll fix it. But in this case, your logo, you can still read it if it gets smaller. So just inspect the element, you know, make it 95 or 75 height and re-upload. Of course it's ListingPro, Sam. Of course. He has a ListingPro website. We're just kind of refining a lot of it with Elementor Pro. Hooks list we're no longer on. He's not here. Yeah, hopefully that helps. Saudi help for the win. I like your site. I do like your original colors, like your orange and the grayish. But again, keep that in mind. You want to use that all across the site. You know, at some point you're using just the default image as non stuff. And again, the menu could help you out a lot. Let's check out just a couple more menu items. Matter of fact, anybody else have a ListingPro site you want a little bit of information on? Let us know. Out of business. Same thing here. I would use your original colors, those orange that we've seen from the homepage. Like I like these two colors. This color I've never seen on your site before. So I would definitely recommend like make this orange. So it's orange, like a darker color, and then orange again. That would look great.
Hover when you hover over the categories in the homepage.
So you said hover over categories on the homepage. Seems to be loading fast already. 140 listings. Is this it? No, those are locations. Where are your cat? Oh, yeah. So that wasn't clear to me at all, right? So if you have to tell me that the only color on your site matches with something that you hover over, not clear to me at all. So either utilize, and I don't care what colors you use. Either utilize this third color, which I don't know if I would or not. But if you utilize the third color, utilize it. Utilize it on the page. Utilize it, but nowhere else. And I'm glad you actually mentioned that. Like, yeah, you do have that color somewhere else, but we didn't see that. Go back to orange, dark orange, right? It would look much better. And that's just the base. Anybody else? Shelby, I know you want us to rip up your site. Claire, let us rip up your new design. Oh, Shelby unmuted. Uh-oh, here we go.
Sorry, it took me a second. Yes, go for it. I tried to fix what the suggestions that you gave me last week. So if you want to go back to it, you sure can.
Think us again, because I'm embarrassed. I don't have it by heart.
Quero, Cuero, connect.com. There you go.
And welcome to the group. Sorry I couldn't hear you earlier. All right, let's see what she fixed. So,
don't kill me about the header picture. I'm gonna fix it.
Yeah, the header picture and this broken logo, we're definitely gonna ream you on.
Yeah,
So,
do not know what that is. Gonna check into that.
Yeah, so that's probably in your banner options. Let's just go down the page. Same thing, guys. You guys will get a list of kind of what I see. And again, I'm a web designer. I can't tell you your personal niche. Like I know nothing about Cairo, Texas. I know nothing about that. But personal visual mindset, she has made some changes. Like look at her padding. Whether we like it or not, big padding. Some people like little white space. Some people like big white space, right? So I can't tell you what your personal preference is, but the padding definitely got better, right? Same padding, same coloring. I like this, right? She's using the blue, she's using the green. Now this isn't easy. This isn't a theme setting where you just change the blue. This is inside CSS that she went in and she changed that color. Hey, listen, hold on. Who is that? I gotta mute somebody. Jorge, I think it's you, man. I'm gonna mute you. Let us unmute if you need to talk. Sorry about that. You got some background noise, buddy. What's new? Again, padding or no padding? Unfortunately, she has the padding here, but she forgot the job listing starts here. There's not as much padding here. So she's gonna give that a little bit more padding, but I love the color style here. You made a lot of good changes here compared to last time we seen this. Everything matches. And then, oh, I won't talk about this section. Much better. Wow. Much better. Yeah, I got nothing bad to say about the homepage other than the stuff you already mentioned. This broken logo in the picture. Shelby, that looks much better. You there?
Yes, thanks, Tim. I appreciate it.
No, I don't. I didn't do it. You did it. Right. Let's go into some other pages though. Right. Let's just show her. Let's find something. Something's got to be wrong. Hey, so you already learned how to style with CSS a little bit from either the video or from what we showed you. Same thing here, right? This is going to be a little bit more difficult. It's not difficult, but first off, if you guys, I know you guys weren't here when Shelby was here. What was it, last week, the week prior? But let me, whoops, YouTube overnight coder. Let me show you something. I am not. What the hell? Oh, it's like we got a copycat. I'm not going to teach you how to be a coder. I don't care. I mean, you guys don't need to be coders for this. Let me show you a video that was super awesome. Import listings categories. Oh, here it is. So this is the video. I'm gonna paste it in chat. I'm gonna make sure it's the 2.5 frequently asked questions and basic styling with CSS. Now, if you guys are actually interested in learning how to change colors, hide fields, all you got to note down in your notes is this starts at 32 or 33 minutes in. Right? You don't have to do that, but check this out. At 32. Okay, we're gonna watch a video, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna post this link at 32 or 33 minutes in. I'm posting this in chat. This video will teach you how to do the styling CSS that I use for ListingPro. Okay, we're gonna get out of this video because it's actually funny. Now, I don't mean like again, you don't need to know how to be a coder. What styling of CSS do you guys think you would need to learn? Well, some things like color, you can't change this in theme options. You can't change this color in theme options. You can't change this color in theme options. You can't change the border color in theme options. So that's the styling, as well as a lot of questions I got were, hey, how do I hide this? How do I hide that add listing button? So the most of the things for CSS and styling that I use is how to change color and how to remove things. And that video that I posted in chat will tell you at 32 or 33 minutes in, will tell you everything that I use in a ListingPro website. So to get on with it, we talked with Shelby and we told her how to do a little bit of CSS or provided codes, either one. And let me show you. So if I was here, this is going to be the same color on everybody's site because it's not in theme options. The video will show you that. You can right click it. Now I'm on Chrome, but almost all your editors do this. I'm gonna click inspect. I do have a little editor over here that says, look, this is some code. Now I'm not gonna teach you coding. I don't care what this says. All I notice is there's two orange boxes here. One is a border, one is the color. Watch this. Border nowadays I'm doing white or none, right? Just because I like the layout. And then the color, I can pick a color. I could replace it here. She already knows her greens and blues, but I don't. So I'm just gonna go up here and I'm gonna click on one of her greens. Again, I would normally type this in, but because I don't have it, bam. And look what happens. Now all of a sudden, instead of that orange around orange, I have nothing around green. And all you would literally do is copy this code. Now it does need a closing bracket. So I have some type of gibberish up here. I have an opening bracket. I have all my codes, and I have a closing bracket. For kicks, I'm just gonna copy all that, right? I'm gonna copy all that, and I would paste it in. What am I copying? We're gonna go to some notes here. I got add task. Actually, you know what? shit. Oh shoot, sorry. I'm gonna post this in the chat. So in the chat box in our group, that is the code that she would put in her appearance customized CSS. But technically, does she really need all that code? Like she doesn't need float left, she doesn't need the font. And if you're looking at my screen, she doesn't need all this. She really just needs this line and this line. So I would literally, hold on, I'm gonna open up a notepad that you guys won't be able to see, but check this out. I'm gonna remove all the lines I didn't need, and then I'm gonna post that in chat. And you can see what I really needed, right? Which you guys have probably already guessed by now. Let me just post it. So instead of the code you guys see in chat, I'm just gonna post this code because all I needed was the border and the color. And that will literally change it to what you want. Again, you're going in appearance, customize CSS, and making it easy. And she can literally do this with everything. Let me give you a quick example. So this doesn't look like it's her font. I could go in here. I could say what font style. I'm just gonna go with Tahoma. Actually, I'm gonna go with something script. No, just so it looks crazy. No, it's not gonna do that. What's a good? Somebody name a good Merryweather. All right, we're gonna skip that. Bad example. But again, I go through here and do all the colors. I do have an example, I think. Claire, you don't mind if I show your site, do you?
No, that's fine.
Perfect. So Claire's site is here. I'm not trying to get off of it, but Claire's site, I went through with just a little bit of styling and just changed some of the colors to match it. And I'm going to show you her Australian server. We're not going to look at her homepage. She didn't want all that.
It's not
But
Australia.
I'm sorry. What?
I'm in the UK.
Isle of Wight, UK. All right, so I do so many Australia islands. I keep saying that too. I've got to. I apologize. So what you're looking at is, other than the map not working, which we know, we have changed the add color to red. We've changed the border to blue across the whole field. We've changed the inside to blue. I've changed the font to the specific font that she wanted. She does want a little bit of green in here. But all this, because these aren't in the theme options, this had to be done with that same styling CSS. And just to show you, I mean, I just gave you an example, but it's as easy as this. I literally have this somewhere in our customized CSS. And just so you guys can see where at in the back end, I know that under theme options general, everybody knows that the styling is there. I actually use, I'll go back to the start. I actually use appearance customized because that'll override anything that ListingPro wanted to do. So I go back into my site. I would go to, and you'll get to see some of the styling that we've done for, it won't make sense here, but appearance and customize. And again, anything we put in here will override anything going on. Additional CSS. I always like to start mine off with a note. That way we know, exactly what went on. So notes, I'm not going to teach you styling CSS. You can copy this, screenshot it if you want, but anything in brown is a note, right? So we say, hey, overnight coding style. And then I like to define exactly where I'm at. Bam, this is the listing grid. This is for the hero banner. This is for the listing style. The page I just showed you has all of these small little copy and paste just to make them the way you want. Matter of fact, you remember what Shelby did with her colors? That would be events calendar. She changed her colors, right? And this isn't, of course, no longer Shelby's site, but same thing. She's got this code in there that changed her layout. And thank you, both of you, for sharing your site. Shelby, your site came a long way. I love it.
Tim, just want to mention we have featured Shelby's site in one of our blog posts. I've shared the link. So, I mean, last week I asked if you guys have a really good site, drop it in the comments. I'll review it and consider it to add it to one of our blog posts. We get quite a bit of traffic to our blog. So, you can get some free traffic. Yeah.
I won't mention it, but I've worked on 2 of the sites that are in here. And then Shelby did make it, which I sent her a link, which is really cool. Look at this, guys. So actually, this is how far she's come, right? And maybe she won't like this, but this is what her site looked like originally. There was different size padding, right? There was small padding, and then there was a bigger, and it still looked good. But then the events page, she had the original pink. And again, just that little bit, like it probably didn't take her long to throw that color in there, right? But it just looks much better now that it's cleaned up. And again, Sam's gonna grab a new screenshot, I promise, Shelby.
Thanks, I'd appreciate that.
No, we didn't do it. You did it. Look at it. Look at the difference. Wow. Everything blends. And again, keep doing that with the full site. Anybody else want to share a site while I just kind of look around and see what else she's got? A menu is in a great order. I notice you don't have homepage on your homepage. Hopefully you have homepage on your other pages. Oh, I love it. I love it. Really good resource there. I know you're going to change these colors as you get time to play around. It's really fun. Resources is just going to be, looks like blog posts. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's an unfinished page.
All right. All right. We're just looking around. Don't kill us. We're just looking around. Your colors do match on these pages. I think that 4 makes it a little bit weird if it's possible. And this might just be my personal preference, but see how this title is super long. And I'm not telling you to change the titles, but if you did it to 3, and it's almost not bad. Like it's not that I don't like 4. I just think 3 would give you a little bit more spacing with a little bit more information. So that'd be something, like I'm not saying I'm sure on. I would probably test to see if I can do columns of 3 and see what it looked like especially with this one, like the title would be on 2 lines or but test that out. And again, I'm not 100%. Normally I'll tell you, look, this needs to be changed, but this is actually questionable. Now I'm gonna be that guy. I don't like, and some of you guys might, I don't like the default H1 header for everything. And there's definitely a way to change that. It's in Listing General, just first theme option page you get, not in Listing General, just in general. But you are using that default coffee cup in the background. And you know what I like to do is I actually like to create my own. So on, how do I open that up? Okay, Claire, you say you didn't mind. Let's just open up her theme options. We're not going to share any personal information, I promise you. But if I was here, and I'll show you what I mean. So maybe it is my internet. Perfect. So in theme options, just in the first general page, you have the option. Now I know it's there for a reason, right? Most people who aren't making anything specific, Shelby has this enabled. Page H1 title, she has this on, and it'll show an image of whatever image, and it'll show on every page. So going back to that, now you guys know where it's at. I turn it off because what I like to do is I like to design my own, right? I don't want the same image on every page. And this has nothing to do with Listing Pro, but especially that old coffee cup image. I don't want that. But on this page, what happens if you open this up with Elementor and she just added in a new section, right? And that new section was like a height from this height to this height, and she had already set that. She can reuse that, but then save the image. So I much rather like to create my own pages and then just add a manual header in. And again, that's my personal preference of just creating any header for any page. Let's give you an example. Ignore anything else on this page. I'm just going to show you a couple of headers. So if I'm on the, even if I'm on the My Account page, you'll see a header, right? And I designed it, the top header is just with Elementor. It's Elementor Pro, and it's got that curvy bottom. That's all that is. What if matter of fact, I got a better example. Easy finds. Oops, so sorry. Yeah, we're gonna look at this one. Only because this one has a bunch of them. So search page. Whoops, no, events page. Again, Elementor. I use that same curvy bottom, right? But check this out. When I go to a job page, same curvy, just change the image. And again, I could have a title in here. I could have anything I want. News and articles. Let's just see what's there. Look, same thing. I use the same, just for this site, the curvy thing fit well. If the curvy thing doesn't fit well, do a straight image. Do whatever you want. Do title up here, but you'll notice a trend here. I've got a different header on every page. And of course, the cool thing about it is with Elementor, I know you can do WP Bakery, but I just don't know WP Bakery because I don't really mess with it. But I saved this. Matter of fact, I'll be honest. I saved the whole page as a template, right? I saved this. It's a header that I designed once. It's a title. It's a subtitle. It's a space. It's a content area with nothing in it. And then usually, oh, this one doesn't have it, but usually a space at the bottom. And with that being said, I saved that page template in Elementor, and I just open it up in Elementor on every new page I create and change some things out. What am I changing out? I'm changing out the header, just the image. I'm changing out the title, just the text, and the content area. And it just makes my life much easier when I'm trying to duplicate and do some things. And I think, same thing. Yes, you can get away with that coffee mug. If you wanted to go more in depth, it looks much better. I'm talking too much. No hands are up. I love it. Any other questions? Let's questions, or I'm jumping into some topics. It's up to you guys. We're at an hour and a half now. I hear somebody. Feel free to unmute yourself. Let's talk about it.
I have a question.
Perfect. Let us hear it.
Right. It's just a general one. It isn't about styling or anything like that. Do you have a list of things that you think to yourself, right, every week I'm going to do X, Y, Z?
That was exactly, so your comment on my Facebook post is exactly why the title in the event is why it is. So what do we do? And this is going to be an everybody question. I want you guys to type in chat. What do you do to make your site successful on a weekly basis? We need to come up with a checklist that we can post. And I'm gonna moderate the checklist, right? Of course, you can post anything you want in the chat box, but what should you be doing? And especially if you guys already have a live site, or are working on a live site, or have had a live site in the future or in the past, what should you be doing on a weekly basis to make sure your site is successful? And I'll start this off. Give me just a second. I am going to post in chat as I go so we can keep everything noted and we can make a huge checklist for both the Facebook groups, right? For future use. But one of the big things is content, right? And I'm going to type content in the box and leave it at that. And I will explain here, you need new content, right? I personally, I know where I get my traffic from. I know we talked about monetization and advertisement, but my traffic comes because I only have 30 minutes a day. I'm a web designer. I'm working on 14 ListingPro websites right now. I don't have time to, and I hate to say this, I don't have time to build custom things for my own site. It's just like that. I'm feeding six. I wish I had time to just stop working. If anybody wants to pay me $20,000 and let me finish my dream, just please let me know after chat. But because it doesn't happen, I still have to work. So I do 30 minutes on my own time, and the content is bringing things in. For content means for me is SEO. SEO content, making sure I have listings in. Now I'm past adding fake lists, or not fake listings, but adding my own listings or adding free listings. So really, I just make sure I have a new blog post a week, and you don't need a blog post a week, but maybe a month, maybe daily if you have that type of time. So content is definitely going to be key to bringing more people to your site. Clear put social posts, and that's exactly right. Blog posts on, how many words? 500. You can do as many words as you want. So we have blog. We have social posts. I'm just gonna put in blog posts behind that, just so we know those are like 3 separate, even though you have it in the same one. So social media posts is big for me. Me and Sam were talking a couple weeks ago, and it depends on your niche, right? Like for weddings, you know how good weddings look on Instagram? Weddings are great, right? Because they take those wonderful photos, and it's like, what about food? Food looks great on Instagram, right? It's like wonderful pictures of different people's food experiences. Not everything looks good on Instagram. Like Curo Texas photos. I don't know that is, excuse me, Shelby. I don't know your niche that well. I don't know that that's an Instagram thing. That's definitely a Facebook thing, and that is the huge difference. Knowing where your target audience may lie, Who was it? Rosemarie was in this group, one of our first two groups, and she had she runs airstrips, which is, you know, if you're a pilot and you want to know where a landing strip is, and I want to say Australia, but now that somebody called me out on that, it might be somewhere else, but I think it's Australia. But with that being said, it was one of those things where I wouldn't even know what to post on Instagram if I was doing that. It's definitely not a TikTok thing. You know, finding airstrips, again, to me sounds like Facebook. So find a good niche where your niche is accepted. Where are pilots posting? Are pilots posting on Instagram? No, I tell you, stewardesses are posting on Instagram. We see those crazy chicks all the time with cameras up in the air. But let's be honest, you know, whatever your niche may be, post in that niche and keep with that. And Sam had mentioned a good comment, because I was like, yeah, you know, find a couple. The real thing is find one and hone in on that. Now, if you're really good at social media, start expanding that for what you have time. If you have time for two, but post weekly, post daily if you can, and if you're getting that content. So social media is big. Social media is big. Content's big. Blog posts goes back to content, but blog posts can have SEO in it. So make sure you have the SEO. So for our checklist right now, we have social posts, we have content on the website, we have blog posts. Yeah, maybe I don't know much about LinkedIn. LinkedIn could be good. You know, LinkedIn, like for doctors and lawyers, LinkedIn was perfect for a bunch of my clients. For kiteboarding, which is my niche, you know, kiteboarding around in water, LinkedIn was garbage, right? LinkedIn didn't do anything for me. Now, TikTok wouldn't be good for me, just because it's like more of a younger social, and kiteboarding isn't cheap. So most of the younger guys who are in social, they're just not, no, talking about viral videos. So you're right. So we're gonna create a checklist from this. What are some other things? You guys use the chat box, or feel free to speak out. But what other checklists should you be making sure you're doing? I'll tell you a big one right now. Now that I just mentioned it in my head, is make sure your site is secure, right? If you were to lose it, let's say you're running a moneymaker site. So let's just say Sam doesn't own Listing Pro, but he's a big guy in the field, right? Number 2 guy ever. What if Sam lost Listing Pro? No longer has the plugin, no longer has his website, no longer has his Facebook. Sam will be looking for new work, right? But fortunately enough, with the internet today, that would never happen, because Sam and his whole team, they have backups. They have backups of copies. They have backups of their website. They have backups of everything they do. So there's no way somebody could come, some 12-year-old who has hacking skills could come along and just delete everything they ever worked for. So that's a big thing. Your checklist should be, you know, make sure you're securing your assets. And if you're just building a site, yeah, you might be like, oh, who cares? I'll just start over. I mean, I would never say that, but you know, the big thing is, if Sam lost every website, you know, they had dealing with Listing Pro and every opportunity they had, it would start from, nobody could survive like that. Same thing with me. If I lost Overnight Coder, what do I do? You know, I don't have my YouTube channel. I don't. So again, make sure you have your backups. Make sure you're, you know, a lot of people, and I'm just going to go into backups. A lot of people say, hey, I just uploaded, you know, 33 plugins that I had on the back of my website. Well, first off, Listing Pro didn't come with 33 plugins, so you've got some weird stuff there. And when you updated, maybe something broke their site. So in that case, not only have your backup, but have a staging site, something you can test on. All right, if you're that person who needs 33 extra plugins, make sure you have that. I would never load a new, let's just say there was a new awesome plugin. I would never load it on my live site unless I knew it worked. And I can't, if I'm making money on a website, I can't just load anonymous stuff and be like, yeah, man, I hope this, you know, as I'm clicking activate, yeah, I hope this works. And you just take that assumption. You don't want to do that. So secure your assets. And let's post that recommendation. Perfect. Manage WordPress. You like that? I like that. Perfect. So we'll do backup. What else you guys got? What else are some check marks that we can give, not just to the people in this group anymore, guys? It's to everybody. What check marks? Your site works, right? What do I do weekly? Go ahead.
Hey, Tim, just want to add, when it comes to content, it's a lot of time, it's really difficult. What kind of content, like we were talking about Shelby's website, what kind of content she should create, right? I think a lot of time people think that they have to create content from scratch and what to do. I recommend that you should think outside of the box and see, maybe just focus on testimonials. Like testimonials can be a good content for your YouTube. You can turn that testimonial into a case study for that client and create a blog post out of that. So creating just a single video can give you multiple outputs with the same content. That same video can become, maybe down the road you want to start your podcast or something, you can put it on your podcast. Or customer interviews. I mean, testimonial could be like just a video that customer sends you, but a full interview can be converted into a blog post or a podcast. So I guess instead of just thinking what you can just do single-handedly, you can try to leverage other people or your customers to give you content for your website, and that will actually, I mean, that's part of the whole growth engine that you want to create for your site, not just one-off blog post and then once a month.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So we have content here growing. It's once a week, but again, we rely on you. So that covers everything Sam said, right? How do I get my content for my videos? Well, look at the last 10 videos I posted. They're webinars, right? Or last 7 videos I posted. Where do we get that content from? Last week it was Shelby, right? Shelby provided all of that content and we appreciate it. 2 weeks before, Art provided a lot of content. Today it's a lot of you guys. So utilizing that, I'm not saying we're using you guys by all means. There's great information on both ends, and you can utilize that content to your advantage, right? Yeah, Sam talked to me about it. Don't worry, guys. But some of my videos only have 80 hits. It's not that I'm getting a benefit out of 80 views on my channel, but it's the content for other viewers where we see a positive, and that's where I get it. I don't care if my videos get 100 views. I don't, it wasn't about that when I created them. And we've come a long way with that. Shelby, I see your hands up. Go ahead.
Okay, so I just wanted to share this idea that I had because it might help somebody else, but I was trying to think of a way that I could generate content for my site that would, like help the businesses that I'm listing, but also, people aren't going to want to follow you on social media if all you're posting is just like advertising businesses. So I was trying to come up with a way to like merge those two things together. And what I came up with, and I haven't done it yet, so it's just an idea, but I thought it was a good idea. So, like, I don't know if you guys know about or are familiar with that Humans of New York Facebook page, where they kind of like just take pictures of random people in the streets and then tell like a really interesting story about them. So I was thinking about kind of trying to do that with like local businesses that like get a premium listing. Then I could go and like take a picture of them, post it to social media, and post like ask them like some cool questions to get them talking, like just like maybe what's an obstacle you've ever overcome in your business until they say something interesting, and then just post like a short little paragraph about that and put that on social media. So I thought that'd be a cool idea.
Listen, that's a custom idea. That sounds great, right? Anytime you can think of something outside of the box that somebody, like especially that our checklist isn't going to include that everybody already knows, they're great opportunities. So don't you got a brilliant mind. Keep rolling with that. That's awesome. I actually am a big fan of Facebook, just because I know that, my niche is in marketing. It's great. I started a Facebook group. I had 10 members in it. It was a Listing Pro theme group that some of you guys are already in. Eventually, I have 1,100 members. Sam's group, 3,600 members. I've been in groups that have 46,000 members. I think that depending on what you're trying to do, I always start a Facebook page, just so I can message somebody and do some interactive, not as myself. I don't want people to know who I am, and it's not about like I don't care color, race, or anything like that. But there's biased people, whether I'm from Florida or whether I'm from Texas, right? Whether I'm from So I believe in a non-biased page that just helps me out overall with what I'm trying to do. And I advertise on that all over the place. The benefit of that is I have 1,700 friends on Facebook. I'll be honest, I don't know most of them. A lot of them are in the kiteboarding, but they add me for some crazy reason. Um, and with those, the first thing I do is invite all those friends, right? And so now I start a page off with 400 people that follow this, and I really don't even know them. And I know that's not great for marketing. Like those 400 people, if they're not in kiteboarding, it doesn't really benefit me. But yes, I started off like I was something. On day one, when I posted my first, I looked like I was something already in the game. And again, social media helps out with a lot of that, reaching out. And I love it. I love it. I know you guys got some more. What put them in the chat or speak them out, and we'll put them in the chat. What we're trying to do is I want to get a checklist that I can post in both groups, and I'm going to define it and make it look really cool. But we want a checklist for what should you be doing weekly when you have a live site. Checking your stats, right? You want to check your, matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to put that because I can hone in off that. So check stats. The reason I say check your stats, checking stats isn't going to increase your stats unless you do something with it. But if you have, and I recommend Google Analytics, that's just my personal preference. But if you have stats in your website, I noticed on Google Analytics on my first Listing Pro directory that I was getting a lot of queries that were showing up empty for New York. I was like, well, why is everybody searching for New York? Like out of every other search result in the United States you could have done, people were searching for New York. You know what I did? Turned around, I added a bunch of listings where I had 0 in New York. And I seen what people were looking for, and I increased the visibility for that. And with Google Analytics or some statistics tools, you can do things like that. What's your most popular searches? What are your most popular keywords? What are your and grow off that. So check stats. I am going to put on the list because yes, you can grow your website from that if you do something with it. What are some other ones, guys? Mike's, unmute your mic. Let's do it. We're here for you. And again, we're past time. I think we'll take the extending topic for about 19 more minutes. After that, I'll stick around for as long as you guys need. But let's tidy this up. Come on, guys. We're here
If
for you.
anybody, if you want to share your link, we can review your website if anybody is interested, like Tim did earlier. Tim, by the way, I've been focusing a lot on Quora. Quora, I don't know if you're active on Quora, but I started answering a lot of questions over there. I think it's pretty good. It's not like Reddit. I mean, I hate Reddit. I don't know if anybody's active on Reddit, but it's really hard to even post a link on Reddit. They will remove it, or if you try to respond to any questions, they will remove it unless you have been active for a certain time, and you build some reputation on Reddit and stuff. So I'm trying to basically, you need to find where your community hangs out most, and I think Facebook is good. Definitely Facebook groups are great, like you suggested last time. But other than Facebook, I would suggest looking into Quora as well. Yeah, pasted the link.
Millie, I know you got some questions, girl.
Tim, one more thing for content, I would suggest trying out Jarvis. Jarvis is an AI tool to create content. I'm still new to it, but it does help me spin up content much faster. It's actually, yeah, I know. I know the founder of this AI tool. He's a pretty cool guy. So yeah, try it out. Actually, I found out that he's the founder after I purchased the tool. It was just funny how it worked out. Yeah, but anyways,
Yeah, no worries. So in the chat box, Sam's posted Jarvis. Right behind him, I posted Quillbot. I'll be honest, guys. If you've ever, whoa, ooh, somebody unmute. That's probably Jorge again. I'm gonna mute you. Sorry. So somebody had mentioned that AI bots, right? And some of you guys may be really young, but I hate to tell my age here, but I'm almost 40. And with that, I've been stuck in my ways for a while. And being stuck in your ways, you never want to advance to like the new technology. We were having these conversations a couple weeks back, and somebody was like, they had mentioned Quillbot. Matter of fact, we've had Jarvis being mentioned multiple times. Jorge, I have to mute you multiple times. I can hear background noise. I'm so sorry. So sorry, buddy. You look so innocent in your photo too. I love it. I love you, man. We're gonna mute you for a second. But with that being said, because I was so stuck in my ways, I never wanted to try. Like, who wants to try an AI bot? That's like owning a restaurant and want one of those AI hamburger flippers in your restaurant. And I was like, no way, man. I can always flip a burger better than this guy can. So I decided to check it out after one of our conversations. I love these new AI bots. Man, I can literally, so whether it's Jarvis or Quillbot or Synthesia IO, whatever it is, I've heard so many positive experiences. So here's the deal, right? I'm going to show you because I got one up on my screen right now. I can't use, I can use Jarvis AI, but I think you have to log in and sign up. So this one, I'm not even logged in, right? And I could test this out. I could paste the paragraph, and as long as it's under 300 words, if I log in, it's 700 words, but again, for free, uh, it will rewrite the whole context here. I'm not going to say it's not going to be copyright anymore. If I put it in Jarbot or Quillbot a couple times, maybe it won't. But it allows me to do so many different things. Like I can add keywords, I can add synonyms, I can add, and this was actually really great for me. Now, again, everybody knows my niche. I'm in kiteboarding and I know my niche really well. So I'm not a blog post writer. I've never been a writer. But yeah, I can write an article about kiteboarding. I love the sport. It's an awesome sport. So I could definitely write an article. With this, I'm going to use the wrong term here. The term is steal. But I could copy another article or steal another article from around the internet. I could post it in here, Quillbot it once or twice, and literally have my own copy of it. Not that I would do that. Again, I know my own niche, but some people don't have the time to create that content. So why not take bits and pieces of content, reorganize it the way you want, and go from there. So it's going to paraphrase some things and take it into a whole nother section of what you need. Now, where I found this extremely helpful for was when I was adding my first listings. When I was adding my first listings, I was literally taking their bio or their about page and I was copying and putting it in my description. Instead, I could have used something like this, got a definite different answer for SEO and included my keywords, and it would have been much better. So even though I'm an old school, not old, please don't, but old school, it's like you gotta bring yourself to the standards of today. And I'm really excited, like Sam said, the AI bots. I'm really excited to see these now that I've actually tried one and kind of tested with it. And again, just not affiliated, no affiliate links, but if you log in, you get 700 words. So what I do is every paragraph, I just throw it in here, bam, for free. I would pay for premium, but yeah, the kids got to eat. Sorry. SEO, perfect. Sam's posted some links in there. So SEO is recommended. Again, no affiliate links in the chat box. So Sam just posted just a dead. He's not getting paid for that. Telling you, he's just saying SEMrush is awesome, and he's right. SEMrush is an awesome program you guys should check out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a premium. It's a bit expensive, actually. I mean, I'm just borrowing it from my friend. I'm not even paying for it right now. I mean, so if you have somebody who can let you borrow that tool, it's pretty amazing. I mean, even if you can use it for a little time. Honestly, I wasn't really a big SEO guy because for me, SEO meant totally different, and but. Yeah, the simple answer to SEO is just create quality content, basically see what's on find a long tail keywords and see what's coming on the homepage of Google and just try to create a better content than what's already there. And that should be I mean, in a nutshell, SEO, I guess.
SEO, he's definitely right. You get a lot of benefit from the SEO. I want to say something like 270 keywords that you can literally type into Google and find my website. So kiteboarding directory, right? And of course, I've already typed this. So, but if you type it in, you're gonna see pops up #1. And that's the thing. You want, if somebody types in what keyword should they be typing in, where you pop up #1 every time, or 1, 2, and 3. If you can cover multiple spots, and the SEO is long term. So I know we already have SEO on our checklist. Social was short term. We have security. We have content. We have check stats, which I'll get into the details. We have social, backups. We definitely have backups. Any final words on what should we be doing weekly when you have your website live to keep it growing? And by the rest, with SEMrush comes with a free day trial. Even longer if the rep contacts you and you tell him you got a big name like me, he'll give you a 14-day trial. I get everything for free, and I should be creating videos for these guys. And I'm just like, nah, it's not worth it. SEMrush is expensive though, Sam. I'm not gonna lie, SEMrush was pricey. SpyFu just had a thing
Yeah.
where SpyFu was like $4.99 a month, normally $29.99. But I think that Black Friday, Cyber Monday is over. SpyFu is like
Yeah,
my
I mean,
number one.
there are alternate tools to SEMrush that
Yeah.
just a lot of free stuff. I mean, just the basic one, and you can start with the free tools out there. There's so many of them out there. Yeah.
I agree.
Um,
Any other last before we finish that up, like a checkbox? And again, I'm gonna create. I know we're just talking about it now. I'm gonna create a checklist with, what you should be doing weekly. I might even add some stuff to it as I think about it. But the chat box is definitely gonna help me out. So last chance on that. Again, if anybody wants us
yeah.
to check out, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. Finish. Yeah.
If anybody else has a website that they want to display, and have somebody look over it and just tell you real quick what we see, and then you come back next week, fix those things. This is free. Keep in mind, a consultation from ListingPro I found out was $99. Consultation from me is normally $50 an hour. So yeah, you're right. It's $100. So keep in mind, you can get that for free right now just by posting a web link. So we entice that, right? We want to see no charge from anybody. Let's just take a look. So again, content or what you can do about your website in the chat box. If not, post a link in the chat box. Let's take a look at your website. I'm just going to go over Facebook real quick and see if we missed anything. We said site security. So while you guys are posting in the site, I use WordFence. I know that a year ago we had some problems with some hacking and an exploit that exploited a lot of people's different sites. And WordFence has been really good free. Again, I'm that guy. I'd rather use a free plugin than pay for like 20 plugins and then find out, my site's not making any money, even though all my sites make money. But I'd like to start off free. And yes, I will pay for a plugin if I'm happy with it, right? So once my site starts making money, if I'm happy the way WordFence has been treating me, maybe I buy the premium. Again, I'm not affiliated with them, but WordFence, the free version, helped out 90% of my clients. Once they were hacked, if they had, and these weren't my client, like it's not my fault they were hacked, but if they were hacked and they called me or they contacted me, Malcare solved the other 10%. Unfortunately, Malcare was $99. So again, that's not my, I'd rather fix the problem before it happened. So again, WordFence, if not, Malcare afterwards solved all my security issues. I know some people run Security. I'm not saying anything, I just don't know. Security, I've also heard good things of. iTeam Security, I've heard good things of. I've also heard some caching issues there, but I've heard it works. And that would be like just my security rundown. Definitely have something. I will tell you, if you guys aren't in the United States, a few years back, we had, I want to say he was, I bring this up all the time. He's a 12 or 16-year-old that hacked the Pentagon. One of our big spots in the United States. It shouldn't be hackable, but some kid was able to hack this. This is a government building that it's always going to be possible. But now I'll tell you from my perspective, if somebody were to hack my kiteboarding directory, so what? I mean, what do you get from that? You know, so first off, I have a backup. I have security, and if you jump through the hoops and played all those games and you got through my security, which yes, some little 12-year-old in the world can definitely hack it. They can hack your site, you know, if they want to, it can be done. But if you have those backups and those restore points in mind, let them do it. You know, let them do it. And unless you hold information, I know I don't want somebody getting my email list, but worst case scenario, if you want to hack a kiteboarding directory instead of the Pentagon, you can do it. You're not going to get any credit card information. You're not going to get any passwords because they're all hashed. So it's like, you know, a lot of times it's going to be childish stuff. It's going to be kids looking for scripts on the internet, typing in a specific code on Google, and it pulls up 200 different sites that they can access. They don't know you. It's not a specific hack. It's not like they're trying to, but if you have those backup points in mind, you can't break me. You can't. Sam's Listing Pro website and their Listing Pro plugin and Envato theme forest, you can't break those guys. They have these things in place. All right, somebody could take down all of Envato. Listing Pro is still going to make it. You know, and it's because they have these things in store. You know, and Envato has these things in store. So just keep those in mind. That's security. I think that covers. Any questions on any of that? And again, I'll stick around, but I got 5 more minutes just on the basic chat. And anybody wants to stick around and just ask personal questions, we don't mind. Any websites, which I'm not seeing any activity in chat, but we'll stick around. What else? We said security. We didn't really take a look at a lot of user sites. Took a look at Shelby's site. We took a look at Claire's site, but I'm biased because I'm actually helping her out with a couple hours of coding on that, so I don't want to show too much. Anybody else want to show a site? Sam, you want to show a site? Oh no, he doesn't want to talk to me. Art, let me see your site.
Hey, sorry about that. I thought I unmuted myself. I was talking. Yeah, I was just chatting with Abdullah from Saudi in the chat. He was talking about RTL. So I know we don't support RTL. Yeah, it's long due. Hopefully, maybe something in 2022. I guess we can fix that. By the way, WPML, as far as I remember, that's work in progress. I don't have it here, but I think things are moving forward. So somewhere early next year, we should see some good news around WPML, multilingual, multi-language, or whatever that plugin is. Yeah, I'm just gonna. I was just chatting with Abdullah, but I'm just gonna say it here that, I mean, you know, people a lot of time want to create their mobile version or the mobile app. They want to get the iOS or Android. You know, it sounds really cool to have a mobile app for your directory, but I would spend like 10% of your time on, honestly, right, until your website is up and running, you're getting traffic on your website, you have users, you're making money. Because mobile apps could distract you a lot, you know, trying to fix Android issues, trying to fix your iOS issues and whatnot. So it could be a lot of, unless you have that kind of resources, I wouldn't spend too much time on having a mobile apps, you know, in the beginning, first 6 months, or, you know, focus on your website, guys. I mean, you know, that's why we just launched Android app earlier this, like a few months ago, actually. And iOS is probably going to take a few months. But I'm honestly, it's just really hard to get customers first, you know, and then having them use your mobile app, having them download your app, and, you know, having them use real estate on your phone. And it's very difficult. A lot of big companies have a high churn rate because people just download and they delete it, they don't use it. So you don't want to be in that position. Tim, you want to add about mobile app? I don't know how many customers really gonna download those mobile apps for your directory, I mean, realistically.
Sure. I'm not. So I don't want to take any heat for this. I have one of the guys from Listing Pro here. I have a bunch of clients here, but I'm gonna let you know how I feel. A mobile website nowadays, not back in the day. We're talking about 2021, 2022. All the websites I build are responsive. So if you're on my website and you're looking at something, whether you're on desktop or mobile, it should look great. So we're talking about anybody who goes to a browser or has my website saved in the bookmark can view my website, whether they're on a mobile phone, and it's going to look awesome. The only difference, and I hear this from clients, is, well, my client would like to be able to click an app button and pull up my website. I was like, all right, so my first solution is, can they just bookmark your site? And I mean, yes, there's ways you can turn that into a button, and that makes it easy. It just pops up a mobile responsive website of your app. Well, no, they actually want to download it from the App Store. So here's the thing. I run iOS. I can't speak for Android because I don't have one, not interested. iOS, first thing you're looking at is iOS, or the iOS developer kit is going to cost you $100. So $100 out the gate out of your pocket. It's going to be yearly. And then you need an app. Now, I have app development skills. Back in the day, to turn your website into an app, I would charge you like 600 bucks. And of course, it was like 4 lines of code I threw in there. I made you pay the $100 as well. And as a designer, that's what I charged you for. But that's not really an app, right? Now your website is inside the button, and some of my clients were asking for. But really, it didn't do anything. A real app. And now, before I even start, Listing Pro has the app capability. So you go into what, listings and theme options, listings, and you can select App View 1, which is my personal favorite. App View 2 is the newer one, which just has some weird colors that not my favorite, but it's still great. And then you also have responsive view, which I usually don't use that. I use App View 1, let's just be honest. With that being said, that still doesn't make it an app. Yeah, when I'm looking at the website version, and I'm looking at it, it has 3 buttons on the bottom. When I'm looking at a listing, it's like what, call, contact, get directions, something crazy like that. But that's not the point. And it does look like an app. It's still not an app. To get an app that you're gonna want, Android. So Listing Pro came out, and this is where Sam's gonna beat me to death on this later. Listing Pro came out with a $99 Android app. It looks great. It does some different features. When iOS does have an app, even though they're not ready, Listing Pro's not ready, somebody came out with a third-party app in both groups, and it does a couple things as well, but really they're just trying to make money as well. When I think about an app, I want a customized solution that does all these things. I want push to talk notifications, right? If you're not on the app, I want your phone to bleep and say, hey, look, we got a new listing that's 7 miles from you. Why don't you check it out? I want these different things with an app. Now, and here's why he's going to beat me to death. You can't pre-program that, right? Yeah, you can pre-program if an app comes out, but the custom features that I want for an app, I want to push to talk notifications, and I want to be able to pull up that app and give me directions to show me satellite view and walk me through it. I would have to custom pay, and with what I want, I'm gonna have to pay over 10 grand. So you have, and I'm talking about $10,000 for those of you guys who don't speak the lingo. So for what I want, there are different things, right? So first off, I have responsive view that comes with my website. That's free. I have the app view that Listing Pro already created, way better than responsive view. That's free as well. I have a couple app things that people came out with, Listing Pro in general, for are on top with that Android app. That's 99 bucks. That other custom company that came out with something maybe for 120 bucks, whatever they came out with, right? So those are steps. But really, what I would like to see, if I'm going to go into building an app, and again, this is coming from the app. I need something. I don't even want it to look like I don't want a website to pull up in an app. I want something 100% different. And I don't think anybody can design that. Unfortunately, there are steps, right? For 99 bucks, you can get something that'll work and it'll be great. For 120 bucks, you can get something that'll work. For free, you can get something that'll work. But what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a completely different website. And that's what I mean by, nobody's going to like that solution, because the website I'm looking for is a $10,000 solution. It's not my website pulled up in an app. It's custom, and that's what I want to see inside an app. And so just to give you guys a little bit of background, I come from building apps that went viral, apps that have 20 million views. They're not long, it'd be great for 2 months. And the user makes millions of dollars off of it. But other than that, that's my opinion.
Tim, I'm gonna be like, very transparent. I'm not happy with the Android app we have right now. There's a lot of stuff you can do with that. You cannot do with that app. Like, I think some of the features like appointment booking and stuff doesn't work still. So that's one of the reason I have stopped the iOS app release, because I want to make sure the iOS, by the time we get some feedback. So yeah, I'm not super happy what we have with Android. So I won't even super recommend anybody to like pay that $99. If you get a coupon somehow, because a lot of times we give away stuff, you get like $100 voucher from us somehow. Like we're gonna give away one $99 voucher to one of the attendees in this last week. It was, I think, Shelby who won. I don't know, Shelby, did you receive her email or not? But I think she was the winner of the voucher. So if you get a voucher, yeah, go download the app for free. But I mean, unless you really want, yeah, because people think that they're gonna put their Android app up there and boom, everything's gonna be perfect. No.
That's why I mentioned it, Sam. So again, I didn't mention, it's an easy, for 99 bucks, is it worth it to have your website in the Android store? That's an easy one, bro. For 99 bucks, hell yeah, I'll do. Or for whatever the app costs, I'll do that, right? I mean, it's just an additional, somebody can click the button and click the app. But again, that's where the customization comes involved. Nobody can predetermine what I want. So everybody knows I have a kiteboarding industry. You don't know what I want in my app. If you're just saying, oh, your kiteboarding start is going to be an app, okay. And listen, for $100, I'd probably buy that app. But again, I want some custom features that I don't think anybody, and take it with a grain of salt, I don't think anybody can just predetermine what I want. I would have to talk with an app developer. I would have to go that far. But for $99, can I put my site in an app? Yeah, I can. Can it have push to talk? Yes, it can. Can it be great for ListingPro? Yes, it can. But can it do exactly what I want? No, it can't. Not for $99, it can't. So again, that's where I'm coming from. So I think both things make sense. I don't see anything in the chat, guys. We're gonna finish this. Any other questions, comments, concerns at you? Who brought that up? Somebody brought that up. Oh, that was you and Abdullah, right? I haven't heard from a couple people. Millie, Mirage, haven't heard from you in a while. Garth,
Right.
Dan just joined the chat. Probably looking for my update on Facebook, but I'm in the middle of a webinar. So, any questions, Dan? Claire, you've been here the whole meet. Any you want us to rip open what you got? What? Any questions, guys? Otherwise, we are headed out. Saturday, it's a beach day. If you live in Florida, it's about 80 degrees outside. Tops off, pants down. Let's go, guys. Wait, I meant bathing suit wise. This is going on YouTube.
All right, man. I can't say that about Texas here.
What, is it cold there in Texas right now? Texas is warm too.
Man,
what is it there
it's about 50. Yeah, about 50.
What?
Like,
Oh my.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's gonna by at like around 9, it's gonna be about 30, 40, right? 40.
But it was
serious?
80 yesterday, so not too bad.
Yeah,
you
it
see
just
that-
fluctuates. About Texas, like, one day it could, like, between 2 days it could be like 40 or 20 degrees difference, or like, it jumps like super.
Shelby just called you out, bro. You're like, no, it's like 40, 30. Shelby's like, no, it was 80 yesterday.
Oh, yesterday. Yeah, she was talking about yesterday, dude. I mean,
yeah.
Yes, yeah. Day before yesterday, I was able to ride my motorcycle. Yesterday I couldn't. So, it's just one day you can, the other day you Yes, it's just
Listen, Florida's the same way too. That's why everybody's getting sick here, because it's like hot one day. I mean, it don't get down to like 30s and stuff, but you know, it's the same thing. It's like hot one day. Tomorrow, I think last night I had to turn the heat on. Then this morning I'm like, I got to turn the AC on. So I love it. I love it. But awesome. I'm moving to Texas soon. We're gonna see how it is. I would never do that, but you guys are cool. What's in Texas other than Curo? I feel like what? There's a saying. I don't want to say it here on YouTube, but yeah. What's Texas? You don't have Disney World, right? We got Disney in Florida. What do you guys have in Texas that's big? And don't tell me cheap or something like that. What's big in Texas? If I came to Texas, what would I have to do?
shooting ranges.
Okay,
Lot
yeah,
of shooting range.
perfect.
I don't know. Shelby,
Yeah,
you want to
barbecue.
defend Texas? Yeah, I don't know.
Definitely barbecue. I really can't think of anything else. I'm drawing a blank right now.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
So I mean, obviously you can barbecue anywhere in the world. So let's just cancel that out, right?
Yeah, but not as good as we do it here. So that's the thing.
What do you mean? What do you? This is Florida, right? You can throw a gator on the grill anytime. You know how it is. Either way, awesome. I think. Wait, no, you guys don't even have Six Flags. Shit. All right, we'll talk about it another
no.
day. Do you guys do you guys have Six
We'll
Flags?
come prepared next time. We'll come
Yeah,
prepared.
we have a Six
We'll create.
Flags.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
awesome.
make a list of all the cool things about Texas for next week, okay?
Hey, Shelby,
Listen,
that's
please do.
actually a blog post for you right now. That's something you need to put it on your website. What you can do to like in Texas and
You are
in
exactly
your
right.
town.
That's a
Yeah.
great idea. Yeah.
Link
10
me to
things
it,
you
please,
can do.
because
Yeah.
I don't think
Alright.
there's 10 things you can do in Texas. So I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. You two that live in Texas, I don't think there's 10 things you can actually do in Texas. So
No, of course we
prove
can.
me,
There's a
nah,
lot.
man.
I mean,
Prove me wrong. I'll see you next week. Listen, any other
all right,
questions?
all right.
Any other questions before we go? We're just cutting out now. Any other questions? Everybody else is kind of slowly disappearing. Anybody want to stick around for 10 minutes? I got you. Otherwise, thanks guys for coming. This video will be up sometime next week when Sam decides to pass it to me, which is usually never. And other than that, man, you guys have a great week.
All right, take care, guys. Bye. Thanks.
All right. Yeah. Shelby in Texas. Ain't nothing to do in Texas. I don't gotta Google it right now because I don't know. So I'm thinking about Florida. Florida's got what? We got Universal, Busch Gardens, Disney, SeaWorld. Well, I can go on and on. Dan, what's going on, man? I see you're here. I'm gonna stop the recording real quick. I did not answer